This is the truth that most men never hear, so pay close attention. If you're a man over 60 and your energy levels drop before midday, your drive seems far away, and your performance has lessened, it's possible that the vegetables you're not eating are the main cause of your decline rather than your age. With more than 30 years of experience, I'm Dr. Senior Man, a men's health expert who helps men like you get back their confidence, strength, and stamina without the use of drugs, tricks, or shame. I've seen what works and, more importantly, what doesn't. I'll show you something today that most doctors don't talk about. These 3 common vegetables have the power to boost your hormones, improve circulation, and bring back the stamina you thought you had lost. One of them increases blood flow so much that some doctors call it nature's Viagra. Another raises testosterone naturally in the background. And the third, it gives your body the premium fuel it needs without causing tiredness or blood sugar spikes. But for best results, combine these vegetables in the morning, midday, and evening. It's not just about what they are. You might start to feel more youthful, strong, and alive than you have in years in just 7 days. So stick with me, because after watching this video, you'll have a simple daily plan to get back your power, not just a list of foods to eat starting today. Before we begin, please be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell. If you're a man over 60 who is serious about boosting your energy and feeling strong once more, if this message connects with you, please put a 1 in the comment section. Every week, I give useful health tips made just for you. If not, enter 0 so that I can continue to make these videos better for you. Let's start with circulation, which is the cornerstone of all male vigor after the age of 60. Because without robust blood flow, energy, confidence, and most definitely performance are all that matter. Additionally, there is a single vegetable that can revitalize your circulation like a switch. The majority of men ignore it, but if you use it correctly, you'll see benefits within a few days. Allow me to explain what it is and why it might be the most significant item you put on your plate this week. The first vegetable is the circulatory enhancer. I remember meeting a patient named Gerald when I was in my late 30s. With hands like sandpaper and a voice like gravel, he was 64 years old, a proud father of 4, and had spent his whole life building houses. However, he didn't come in to discuss work or previous injuries that day. "I just don't feel like a guy anymore, Doc," he continued, leaning down and speaking softly. "The fire seems to have extinguished." You wouldn't believe how often I hear that sentence. In fact, most guys who enter my office expecting a miraculous pill or testosterone shot are surprised when I tell them what I'm going to tell you. For the most part, it's not their hormones that are preventing people from moving on. Their circulation is the cause. Everything slows down in the absence of proper blood flow. Your vitality wanes, it weakens your erections, your thoughts become confused, you begin to feel like a much smaller version of the person you once were. However, a natural remedy has been lurking in plain sight. It isn't costly, it isn't processed. Additionally, a prescription is not required. Beets are a modest vegetable that you've probably seen 100 times. One of nature's strongest sources of nitric oxide is beets. The natural nitrates in them are transformed by your body into nitric oxide, which widens blood vessels and enhances circulation from head to toe. And everything changes when blood flows more smoothly. The strain on your heart is lessened, more oxygen reaches your muscles. Indeed, your effectiveness in the bedroom begins to improve frequently, more quickly than men anticipate. I recall bringing this up to Gerald. He laughed at first. "Are you suggesting that a vegetable can remedy what Viagra was unable to?" Grinning, I advised him to wait a week. For 7 days, he would drink a tiny glass of beetroot juice in the morning or add half a cup of cooked beets to his lunch. No medication. There is no pressure. Try it out. 2 weeks later, he returned and sat down smiling. "My wife told me to thank you," he replied, "but I don't know what's in those things, Doc." It's not an uncommon tale. Numerous studies have demonstrated that beets, particularly for men over 60, can enhance vascular health, lower blood pressure, and increase stamina. You don't have to completely change your diet. A single easy addition every day. They can be blended, boiled, or roasted. They become a part of your recuperation when you add a little lemon and a touch of salt. Your comeback. You're back with the man you know. I also want you to keep this in mind. Enhancing blood flow does more than just make you feel better. You live a better life. It gets easy to walk. Stair climbing is not a chore. It means more to hold your partner's hand. Thus, your body isn't dragging itself during the day. You are once again taking the lead with strength. That's the main point of this power as well as performance. Not only endurance, but soul. And something as basic as beets is the first step toward that. What feeds your inner fire? Therefore, if blood flow is the basis, what provides you with the motivation, self-assurance, and silent power that endures over time? Hormones are the answer. Another underappreciated vegetable has been subtly boosting testosterone levels in males for years. We need to give it the attention it merits. I'll show you. The second vegetable, the helper hormone. The day Martin entered my office will always be in my memory. 68 years old, sharp intellect, as witty as ever. However, the gleam in his eyes had dimmed. "Doctor, I feel like I'm fading," he remarked, glancing at me. I'm not depressed, not me. I'm exhausted when I wake up. I have no desire to do anything. My fire is gone, but my body is here. It's gone. It takes guts to be that honest. Furthermore, Martin was unaware, as are most men, that testosterone, a potent hormone, is frequently linked to this gradual decline in vigor, drive, and male desire. Now, I'm not referring to harsh therapies or bodybuilder testosterone. I am referring to your inherent levels, the silent power that provides you energy to face life, emotional stability, and clarity in the morning. The issue is that testosterone levels begin to decline beyond age 60, subtly, not usually in dramatic ways, in silence. You will hardly recognize the man in the mirror after a while. Here's the good news, though. Hormone assistance doesn't require injections or dangerous treatments. Sometimes you just need to make a change to your plate. And spinach is where that change begins. Yes, your greatest ally now is the same green you may have dismissed as a child. Magnesium, which is abundant in spinach, is essential for the body's release of bound testosterone. It isn't possible to use testosterone when it is bound. However, eating foods high in magnesium, such as spinach, naturally raises your levels of free testosterone. Better mood, increased energy, improved attention, and a greater feeling of self are all results of this. There's more. Folate, which is abundant in spinach, promotes the health of your blood and nerves. Like beets, it contains plant-based nitrates that improve circulation. Additionally, it is one of the few foods that supports the prostate, a gland that is closely related to the balance of male hormones and sexual activity. I recall telling Martin to start out easy. 1 cup of boiled spinach every day, please. Add it to a smoothie, stir it into your eggs, or sauté it with olive oil and garlic. He arched an eyebrow. "Is that all?" I gave a nod. "Is that all?" However, do it each day. Your body recalls the sensation of strength. All it needs is the appropriate signal. He returned 3 weeks later. He had more acute eyes. He stood up more erect. "I've been walking more, Doc," he remarked. "My sleep has improved. I even resumed my flirtation with my wife. I feel alive, but she's not sure what's got me." When used purposefully, spinach can accomplish that. It's not ostentatious. It's not in style. However, it functions. Not because it's magical either, since it provides your body with what it has been lacking. We're told to have lower expectations as we age, to accept weariness, annoyance, and deterioration. Your hormones don't have to crash, though. I'm here to inform you. By giving your body what it once had, you may support them in a natural and kind way. The ingredients that support masculinity from within. Another vegetable manages the external flame, while spinach aids in rekindling the inner fire, the one that gives you energy, strength, and mobility from dawn to dusk. It's neither red nor leafy. However, it contains the key to endurance, blood sugar regulation, and sustained vitality. In fact, a lot of men report that it improved their mood in just 3 days. Let's discuss it. The third vegetable, the engine of endurance. Charles was one of my patients a few years ago. He was 71, fireman by retirement, incredibly resilient. However, I could tell he was carrying a burden when he sat down in front of me. "Doctor," he said, "I'm not tired because I'm lazy. I'm exhausted because I can't seem to regain my energy no matter what I do. I try to walk more and eat less. However, by the middle of the day, I feel like I'm exhausted." It's not an uncommon story. It's actually among the most... Are carbohydrates bad? Not this one. One of the most potent natural energy sources you can put on your plate is sweet potatoes. They release energy gradually and steadily because they have a low glycemic index. No crash or surge, just reliable gasoline. Additionally, they contain a lot of potassium, which is essential for heart rhythm, muscular contraction, and fluid balance. Compared to a banana, a medium sweet potato provides more potassium without the added sweetness. When you combine the high levels of fiber, antioxidants, manganese, and vitamin A, you get a vegetable that does more than just nourish your body. It gives it energy. Charles was dubious when I suggested sweet potatoes to him. I believe that avoiding carbohydrates was necessary for my health. I'll tell you what I told him. There is no desire for less calories in your body. It is hankering after better fuel, fuel that lasts and burns cleanly. For lunch or dinner, I had him roast a tiny sweet potato with sea salt and a little olive oil. Nothing ostentatious, just actual food and nourishment. Charles returned 2 weeks later and said something that will always stick in my memory. "I no longer take afternoon naps. I went back to repairing stuff around the house. My wife is taken aback. She's probably curious about this new dude." The correct food can accomplish that. It's not about cutting back on food. It's about eating more intelligently. Sweet potatoes give your brain what it needs to think, your hormones the steadiness they need to function, and your muscles what they need to move. The most potent effect is the combination of these 3 vegetables: sweet potatoes, spinach, and beets. Hormones, endurance, and circulation. It's comparable to repairing an old engine that has many miles left in it. Here's the secret, though. Eating them only once isn't the point. It's about incorporating them into your everyday routine. This leads us to what I refer to as the vegetable protocol. Without ever taking a drug, you may regain your energy, performance, and confidence by following this easy yet effective daily regimen. When you combine these items in the proper way, amazing things happen, so you'll want to hear this. Let's have a look at it. Vegetable number 4, the vegetable protocol. When men approach me feeling exhausted, angry, or discouraged, their true question is, where do I even begin? Finding the correct foods is only one aspect of it. It all comes down to learning how to use them to suit your needs. Because your body reacts differently after the age of 60, what was effective at 30 is no longer effective. I thus provide them a straightforward plan rather than relying on conjecture. It's what I refer to as the vegetable protocol. This is not a rigid diet. It's not about cutting back on your favorite foods or tracking calories. It's about assembling your meal with intention, utilizing 3 potent natural vegetables, sweet potatoes, spinach, and beets, to sustainably improve blood flow, energy, and performance. And I have repeatedly witnessed it work in real relationships, real lives, and real mornings when a man awakens and feels strong once more. The procedure is straightforward. Start your day with half a cup of cooked beets or a tiny glass of beetroot juice in the morning. This opens up blood vessels, primes your circulation, and delivers oxygen to the right places. I frequently explain to my patients that it's similar to turning on your body's electrical grid. Serve a full cup of boiled spinach with your lunch. This one habit will start to rebuild your hormonal base, whether it's in an omelet, sautéed with garlic, or mixed into a shake. At first, it may seem like a slight improvement in mood or lucidity, but gradually, your testosterone support grows stronger and stronger. Bring in your endurance meal in the evening. Dinner should include half of a baked sweet potato. It will provide your body with the consistent nourishment it needs to wind down without crashing. Additionally, it helps avoid blood sugar falls at night that cause you to wake up exhausted or agitated. The vegetables alone aren't what makes this work. It's the rhythm and the time. Each one helps the others. Not only are you providing your body with nourishment, but you are also aligning it with its natural functioning when you feed it circulation in the morning, your hormones at noon, and your endurance at night. Additionally, you can experience anything without waiting months. In 7 days, most men experience a change, a little more spark behind their eyes, a lighter step, and a clearer head. And it becomes stronger the longer you continue. This has to do with momentum, food that is beneficial to you rather than detrimental. Men in their 70s have told me they are hiking, gardening, and accepting intimacy again after previously declining. They are asserting their might, not because they are vying for youth, but for a silent power, a strength that manifests when you give your body the attention it needs. The goal of the Veggie Protocol is not to revert to the past. It's about making progress with direction and clarity. What's the best part? You may start it today. No waiting, no prescription. Even though this daily regimen is quite effective, I want to leave you with one last thing, for food is only the first step. You need one more item if you desire significant long-lasting change. It's not in your pantry or refrigerator, but once you figure it out, everything else makes sense. That's what we'll discuss next. In conclusion, I have over 30 years of experience in this field. Thousands of powerful, proud men have sat across from me, and they have all looked me in the eye and stated the same thing in different terms. I no longer feel like myself. At times, it was exhaustion. It was a lack of desire at times. There were moments when it was only a subtle pain, like if something inside had gone out and wouldn't turn back on. And I've always had the same message. You're not damaged. You're not finished. Your body is still capable of experiencing life. All you need to do is provide the appropriate resources. We discuss these 3 vegetables for that reason, not due to their popularity, not because some secret superfoods from a faraway nation are involved, but because they are effective. The very current that propels performance and energy, circulation, can be opened and restored with beets. Rekindle your inner fire and strengthen your hormones with spinach. Sweet potatoes provide you with balance and endurance, ensuring that you have the energy to go about your life as you see fit after lunch. The vegetable protocol was then used to bring them together, natural, sustainable, and easy, morning, midday, and evening. Food that gives you strength rather than taking it away. A diet isn't the point. It's not about being perfect at everything. The goal is to establish a rhythm that complements your body rather than contradicts it. It's about allowing yourself to recover, not only from physical exhaustion, but also from the silent dejection that results from beginning to think that deterioration is your fate. I've witnessed the results of men committing to this. I've seen posture shift, eyes brighten, and marriages rekindled. I've heard of men who were able to walk pain-free again, who felt more confident in the bedroom, and who after a few weeks looked in the mirror and saw something they hadn't seen in a long time. I hope it's not necessary to pursue youth. You don't have to be the same person you were when you were 25, but you may regain your strength, clarity, and sense of groundedness. You are still the same version of yourself. All he's been waiting for is your arrival, with belief, with consistency, with genuine food. Begin modestly. Begin now. A glass of beet juice, half a sweet potato, and 1 cup of spinach. Every one of them is a vote for the man you remain. And if you haven't heard this in a long time, allow me to tell you now, you can still change at any age. You have only just begun. Together, let's travel this path. Just 1 plate, just 1 step, 1 strong, realistic day at a time. I encourage you to like this video, share it with another man who would benefit from hearing it, and leave a comment below if this message resonated with you, or if it made you realize your potential, strength, or value. Tell me about your location and the stage of your journey that you are at. Additionally, if you think that men over 60 should have access to this kind of empowering, honest content, please think about making a small payment to support our continued production of videos that benefit you and people just like you. You have no idea how much your support means.